Hi there, Machedo. Speaking to you from Machedo.com. Who is Machedo and Think Personal Branding? All right, got this question from a couple of youngsters who asked, who asked me, like, what are the benefits of dating young girls? Okay, now I do not know what do you mean by young girls, what is the age, but I'll give you my perspective being a 40-year-old guy who has dated quite a number of young girls. As young as when I was in my 30s, I dated girls as young as 18. One was nearly 17 years and 11 months or 10 months. So it was nearly 18. That was in Dubai. Okay, so having dated, that is at the age of 31, I dated quite a number of girls, many 17-year-olds, going to be 18 after 2 months. Well, they told me lies that they were 18, but then again. So anyway, I dated quite a number of girls, 18, 19, 20. I always kept age gap. However, as I started moving towards my 40s, I avoided dating young girls. So I'll give you my perspective of dating young girls, the benefits and the drawbacks and the final conclusion. Okay, so first the benefits. Okay, let's start off with the benefits. Now, obviously, the first benefit is because they are blooming, because they're growing, they are very curious, they're very naughty, they're sexually very, very active. Hyperactive is more of the right word. They just want to try everything. So you can try different positions, different this, different that. They're just very eager to try everything new, and they think it's love. They feel special. It is that age. That's number one. The second thing is if you get a girl and you're the first love, she's very committed, very dedicated, and she'll just consider you the whole world and everything. You are the everything for her. Okay, which is good if you're looking for a committed relationship. Number three is you can mold them the way you want because they will listen to you, unless you get someone who's really feisty. But they listen to you and they are very adaptable to change. Okay, not everyone, but majority of them. Number four is obviously because they look up to you, they respect you. They listen to what you have to say, and it brings a certain element of peace of mind. And last but not the least, because they're young, you can enjoy more, have more fun. They're very carefree. You can do all the crazy stuff. So these are the benefits, the 5 benefits. However, the drawbacks, there are pretty severe drawbacks, okay, of dating young girls. The first one is the legal consequence. Now, in some countries, if you date a 17-year-old, it is underage. Some countries, the age is less and it's to 16. And then there are these primitive countries where you can date, even a 14 or even get married. Personally, I consider 17, going to be 18 is okay if you're dating. But then again, it's a thin red line because here's the thing. In certain nightclubs, for example, I'm just giving an example. If the girl is 17 years, 11 months, and 29 days or 30 days, with 31 being perfectly 18, they say, no, you're underage. But the minute you finish another 24 hours, you become 18, you're an adult. Doesn't make sense. That means in 24 hours, your maturity levels just shot up? It doesn't make sense. I just feel that given the amount of information, given the amount of exposure, given the amount of data that they have access to, videos and articles, today girls gain a certain level of maturity. Exposure, I wouldn't say maturity, much more faster. So dating someone who's 18 or 17, going to be 18, is fairly okay. In certain states, in the United States, it's still okay to date a 17-year-old. So I would say 17, 18 is okay. But understand the legal consequences. Is it okay in the country that you're staying? So that's number one. And one thing keep in mind, if you're older than the girl is always looked at as a poor little innocent thing, and you're the big, bad, ugly wolf, and you're the bad guy, so you'll always be crucified. So first one is the legal consequence, which favors the girl, and you need to understand the legal consequence of the country. Okay, the first one is legal consequence, so don't confuse. The second one is the level of maturity is lacking, and that you can see with their style, the way they dress, the way they behave, their friends, what they like. So that can be really irritating, the immaturity. Okay. The third one is you absolutely cannot trust them because they are so gullible. They have to talk to their friends, obviously, because they're a young girl, they talk to their friends, they talk to others. So you can't trust them with anything. Fourth one is they obviously do not know what they want because they're still in the stage of discovery. So don't expect them to be sure. They might date you, love you, think the world of you. Next thing you know, they have dumped you. Last, if not the least, is given the fact that they are so young, you are partially responsible, or not partially, much more than that. You're responsible for them. And you'll always be looked upon, like I said, the bad guy. And she's the poor little innocent thing. So it'll always favor in her, it'll always, kind of go towards her favor, less towards yours. So that is the drawback. Now, coming to the point of the conclusion, when I weigh both the sides, benefits and the drawback, I would say if you're looking for marriage, if you're actually looking for marriage long term, then getting married to a young girl is much more better because obviously you can mold them, they'll listen to you, they'll be very committed, that's why I got married to my Thai wife. She's really young. I think 15 years younger than me, 16 years or 17, 15, yeah. 15 years younger to me. And she just listens. And I take care of her. Obviously, I need to take care of her. So the expense part I can manage. Okay. And I know for a fact she is with me for life. Okay. But if you marry an older woman, obviously they know what they want. They can be really hard, strong. They don't take shit and they'll kick your ass off. So that's another thing. So unless you like that kind of characterism. So on the benefit side, if you're planning long term, well, you can get married to one. They obviously, even after they have a baby, their body heals faster and they still maintain that youthfulness. Because obviously, if you're a guy and you're attracted to other women, you're distracted, you have attention, ADHD like me, or you're always online, you'll always get new women. So the temptation is reduced if you have a young girl. Okay. But the drawback is pretty much up there, especially if you're not looking for marriage. Forget the legal consequence, which is very important. The immaturity levels, the fact that you can't trust them, the fact that they want to talk to all their friends, they don't know what they want, and so many other things. It's pretty much a headache. Like when I talk to some of the young girls who are used to date, I still find them very irritating because they talk shit, they talk crap. I can't even have a decent conversation with them. So if I were to evaluate, I would say it's more of a drawback. It's more of a headache. It's more of a responsibility. If you're dating them just for fun, just for whatever, just getting to know them, that would be a massive liability. But if you're looking for marriage, long-term relationship, and you're really going to take care of them, I would say go for someone who is, but remember, upbringing matters. If she is a girl who is given the wrong upbringing and she's distracted, addicted to social media, and she loves her friends, then you are asking for trouble. So if you ask me, dating a young girl, dating for fun and all that is always a headache. Short-term fun, long-term headache. Marriage, depending on upbringing, it's better to get married to someone who is much more younger than you. So these are my views. Let me know, what do you think? Do you think it's a blessing in disguise to date someone who's younger, much more younger, or is it a headache? Love to hear your thoughts. This is me signing off for now. Take care.